fucked up.
That's the intro.
That's the motherfucking intro. No Invite Podcast, motherfucking season 2, the Level Up, episode 27. 27 weeks consistently, Patty. We've been in this thing. I've been in this thing. You know, Patty been out doing what the fuck she do and shit, but
I do what I want.
But she does exactly. That's the problem. See, she does what she wants.
That's a problem.
That's a good thing, and it's a problem for us. But No Invite Podcast, we back in this thing, man, and I'm good. I'm glad we're staying consistent. I'm glad that you're here because I feel like I say it on the podcast and I'll say it again. It's like I'm good by myself, but people really like how we talk. And I really I've been trying to figure out, it's like, what the fuck do they like about it? And then thinking about it, it's like, what they like is just that they get a little slice of how we really are when no one's around.
It's
you feel
genuine.
what I'm saying? Yeah, it's genuine.
It's authentic.
And remember I told you that. Remember at the beginning, I was when I first started the podcast.
Makes anything worth anything. Mm-hmm. And you can just tell, humans, we dig that. We're not stupid.
Yeah.
My soul speaks to your soul on some level, and we feel that. We ain't done.
Well, you my people. So it's like
anything that's authentic and genuine, I don't think you could really go wrong with. If it's real, it's real. You can't.
Nah, that's real.
You can't fuck with that.
That's real. And the thing is it's not like we get on the mic and we put on an act. This is really us.
Oh, I definitely can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do that for nothing. When he tries to make me, he tries to hype me up and be like, "You gotta act like this. You gotta act like that." And I'm like,
I don't try to hype you up like that. I just try to hype you up sometimes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nah, no. I mean, I don't want you to.
That's a part of the business. Honestly, you have to exaggerate kind of your personality in the industry. Usually, some people have
See, that's the thing. I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to make you to exaggerate.
No, you
that's
never
not
do.
What
You just try to hype me up.
It's not exaggeration that I'm looking for.
And
it's more like enthusiasm.
It has to be genuine. If I'm not
like,
feeling it, that's why I'm like, I'm not.
Nah, but you know what though? It's obviously
and
working.
So that's why that's hilarious because I can't do that. I can't. I don't really know how to.
You can't.
I go crazy. I go insane with rage if I can't be myself.
Every fucking Instagram meme cliche about keeping it real, that's Patty. Patty's like, I'm too fucking real to be fake, y'all.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There's never been no realer. Like, you can make up any...
All I want to do is die real.
But remember what we say? Exactly. I'd rather die real than live fake.
This. For real. It's about that right there.
Yeah, that's real talk. But see, look, the thing is there's a lot of truth in that, and then, like I tell you, it's like Instagram memes
are die on my feet than live on my knees.
Well, think about it like this: it's like Instagram memes are hella wild because it's like, you know, all the inspirational quotes and how people kind of it's almost like a punchline now. I'm good.
Yeah.
Roll the new one up. But it's like a punchline now for the Instagram quote and the what's it called and this, that, and the other, right?
I think memes are kind of like our modern hieroglyphics. But
it's our modern, to be honest with you, it's our modern common sense that we pass along to each other but the problem about it is that it's so common now that the fucking meme, the inspirational quote fake. Meme is cliche. You feel what I'm saying?
And that makes us all feel cliche and like the whole world.
Yeah, it goes back to my theory. Like I always tell you, is like the best shit is always gonna make to be look corny because they don't want you to take advantage of the information that's out there.
They want you to receive it
exactly
completely and fully.
They want you to shun the fucking.
They want you to downplay
the facts of life.
They want
and all
you to
that
laugh
shit.
at it. They want you to make light of it. They don't want you to take it seriously and really take it and internalize it and then apply it to your life.
Exactly. It's like when the information is out there, you can't do nothing to keep it from the people. So then what you do is you discredit it. They find a way to discredit it.
Or I notice people will, once you can kind of pinpoint it or you can explain it and you start to make fun of it, it makes you. It's like, oh, well, it's mundane now. We can explain it now. Like electricity, when it was first invented, was like, oh my God, what is this?
Look at this shit.
And now it's very, that's just electricity.
Yeah.
We just downplay it because it's a given now.
Yeah,
it's been there forever since the beginning of time. It's like concrete in our lives.
But if there was no electricity right now, how life would be, how vital it would be.
And so those cliches, I think, became so important. And so vital because there was a point to where those cliches were absent. Mm-hmm. And there was just like emptiness or maybe negativity or whatever the case may be within somebody's lives. And then they realize, oh, snaps.
Just imagine.
Love does conquer all. Like,
hey, But just imagine the haters back then, though. The haters back in the day, like when they were first putting up power, people were first getting their PG&E and shit, and you seen the motherfucker standing across the street and he's watching Joe Schmo get his lights turned on for the first time. He's still running on candle power. Imagine the hate back then.
Imagine dialing a phone number and the number is like, okay, give me your number. Okay, go dial it or go do whatever I do on the telephone. It's just 7. That's the phone.
That's the first phone.
That's the phone number. What's your number?
Nah.
7. Like,
nah.
That's really what it was, though. I heard.
Check
like,
this though.
If
What's
my
even
research
more
is accurate.
What's even more wild than that is that even before that. I mean, even during that time when first you had to call and talk to a switchboard. So imagine imagine the middleman bullshit though. No. When you used to pick up the phone, when they first did the phones, you had to fucking be like, hey, can I be connected to such and such?
But when the very first phones were invented?
Yeah, that was the first shit. It wasn't just like you could call direct.
I thought that was more like in the 30s or 40s, but I don't know.
Nah, this was the beginning, like the beginning
of phone usage. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You had to call the operator and you would tell the operator, dial this fucking number. You dig what I'm saying? And just imagine the kind of middleman bullshit. Dope. Imagine that. Like, you think that's bad? It's like, bro, I used to, if anybody was still alive right now talking about that and they knew the first phones, they'd be like, bro, you think texting a motherfucker leaving you on red is bad? Imagine me. I used to have to call and ask permission and get somebody to call them for me.
Mark Twain is turning over in his grave right now. Like,
man, that motherfucker's tripping right now. Hey, but real talk, that's some bullshit, right? You had a middleman on a phone call like, hey, get on the phone, do. What's up? The operator answers, what's happening? You're like, hey, dial this number for me. The operator's like,
or did they used to be?
It's gonna cost.
They were able to give them their name. Remember, they used to be able to do that too. Can you dial Dan Smith of Canterbury on 5th Avenue? Like,
nah, I don't know.
I think they had like a registry or something like that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't know how long distance phone calls worked back then, if they even had them. But like I said, just imagine the hate though. Like this motherfucker, like the motherfucker on Belly, right? He walk outside, he eating a banana and shit with the motherfucking perm, and he look across the street to his neighbor, and his neighbor's like
Joe Schmo's.
Oh yeah, I see. Oh, look at him, yo. He got electricity. Oh yeah, he got telephone lines and shit. He living real good right now, man. I don't like that shit.
He got a horse and carriage. You got 2 horses.
He must be slanging hay or something, man. We finna, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Imagine that shit though. Like the hate back then had to be super real.
Or the Ford when he came up on his motor, like on his motorized carriage. Like what?
Or just imagine that.
There's no horse on that carriage. What is this?
Stunting on cats, like bitch, get like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey.
But that's people. They're the nerds, right? Like those are the people with like the drones when they first came out.
They're the dreamers, bro.
Or they're the ones that like. They're the little weirdos.
I feel like they're the dreamers. They're the people that get the true freedom that they need to fucking stroke their creativity. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of us are dreamers, but
not all of us. Some people don't dream.
Everybody does. I feel like to a certain extent, and then something happens to them where they make them feel like, you know what, this is bullshit. This is all life is gonna be, and I'm gonna stop dreaming, because a real dreamer, you know what I'm saying, that gets the opportunity to dream, never stops dreaming. Look at us. We're fucking come from nothing, and we still dream about, you know, doing things, and we still find ways to be creative and fucking put shit out there.
But I've talked to some people, and they've never really been like that. And that's fine. They're not, like, I've learned, like, different personalities function in different ways, and they're more, how would I say it, more physical people. And I don't necessarily mean, like, athletic, but they move more. They move. They're like always on the go. They always have to have action in a sense.
They're more about the now instead of the fucking. Instead of
more
dreaming.
of the, like, they live off the seat of their pants. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. They just move more. They're not just necessarily sit down and super reflective. And other people are more mental. More people are more of the mind and live in their mind. And dreamers usually are like that. Movers can be like that too, you know, definitely. But I just find, like, again, how you said, they're more in the now. They're like, what's happening now? But they get shit done. And they do things that dreamers can't do without realizing they're doing it. Sometimes the dreamers overthink it.
Yeah, well, see,
like, so that's interesting.
I don't want to make a blanket statement as far as dreamers, because I feel like every dreamer that really is a dreamer, also not every dreamer, but a lot of dreamers, it all applies differently. Like I'm sure there's section of people like that too, but there's a lot of dreamers that the part of the dream is seeing it come to fruition. You know what I'm saying? So they fucking go and apply what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And some people like have more belief in others. Some people just have more things go right for them because it's all odds. You feel me?
That too, but I also think this is about balance. I think you have to have, because there are some dreamers that, what was the phrase? Like, they live too much in the clouds that they're of no good of this world. Of this worldly world.
There's like a saying that
because
says the over-examined life is not a real, a great life or something like that.
Because you never take action.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could dream
but that's what I'm saying. It's like when, just like anything else, I don't want a blanket statement, nothing, because a dreamer could have many different things. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it was like
there's some of them they're lost in their thoughts. It's all about thinking and never put into action.
Ambition with his action.
Exactly. I feel like the dreamers that have a little bit of both, that are present and they live in the now and they're ready to go get it, and they have the imagination and just the way to thinking and the different way of thinking, that they actually take those thoughts and put it into action. And I think we are capable of it, but I feel like because of society's expectations, you're made to feel mundane, like it's nothing. Like, oh no, this is it. Don't worry, you're just a fucking consumer. You're always gonna be like this, and just accept life it is.
Yeah.
And if you're like that, it's cool. Like, don't get me wrong, but I'm the type of person that has too much imagination and too much
that's how you see the world.
Belief. And not only my capability, but the capability of other people, that I fucking like to take action into the things that I do. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been guilty of being both. Where I'm like too much of a dreamer and not enough action, or I'm too much action and not enough preparation.
Maybe we're not just one.
Well, I feel like we're a lot of all of that, though.
Maybe we're not just either or. Maybe we're all of it at different times.
We are all of it, and that's my point. It's like we're all capable of it. I just feel like some of us utilize certain things more than others, instead of having, like you said, that balance, where you utilize all of it, and then you're able to make it move and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Put a filter on that too. There's filters in the paper.
I don't like to do that. You want to do
No, go ahead. Patty's old school as fuck. She's a hippie.
Well, somebody was talking about me, and I was like, "You talk about me to other people?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "How do you describe me?" I was like, "You're like the hippie nerd." Like that. I was like, "What?" That's those are some of my identifiers.
Is that a compliment or is that like a fucking
I don't
insult?
mind it. I don't.
It's not a bad way to describe nobody.
I don't really care. It's just interesting.
Because most hippie nerds are the most like
how
righteous.
People describe you, so I find that interesting more than anything. I just like
you find it interesting how she was like how she viewed you, like because you can't see yourself. I mean, you can see yourself, but you can't see yourself through other people's eyes,
like,
so you don't know what they look at you like.
Yeah, exactly. I like to see other people's perspectives.
Yeah, I like perspective too.
Right.
I like when people are I like when people are themselves.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10 on myself, like y'all get this podcast shit. This is good conversation, so y'all get kind of a slice of what I am. There's obviously more to me and more to Patty. Excuse me, than what y'all fucking than what y'all hear, but impressions are everything, and you could go meet somebody and they could look like the toughest, craziest person that you ever met, or the nerdiest, right, not knowing nothing that you ever met, and they will fucking surprise you, and you'll realize that they're much more than that. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, or you realize that they're not what they look like at all. Like I've seen some cats, like I said, I'll never forget it. Yeah. I was locked up, and this is my partner. He from LA and shit, tough dude, tats all over his face. You know what I'm saying? I when he talks, I could tell that, you know what I'm saying, he's a genuine individual, you know what I'm saying, when we conversated over stuff. So I know he ain't no punk. But it's like, I remember that we were in the dorm when I was locked up in Central California, and it's a CMC or CFC or whatever it's called. I forgot, my memory fails me. But it's like a privately owned prison. Mm-hmm. And there the rules are a little bit more relaxed as far as how they treat inmates. You know what I'm saying? They don't treat us as much as we're in prison inmates, they treat us more like we're county jail inmates. You dig what I'm saying? So the rules are
more lax.
In the the facility rules are a little bit more lax.
Yeah.
So we were there, and it's a dormitory style living. And for anybody that don't know what a dormitory is basically there's no walls.
Okay. Yeah.
There's bunks, there's hella rows of beds.
Kind of like
everybody
a military
got their
setup?
locker. Yeah, military style. Exactly. Dormitory living,
Gotcha,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Military style. And I remember we sitting there talking and this, that, and the other, you know what I'm saying? He's chopping up with me, you know, some regular shit. We just chilling, you know, killing the time right before count. Because they do count before bedtime or lights out when they shut, because it's dormitory, so they have to shut the lights down at one point or another, or else, you know, they can't leave the lights on all night, or motherfuckers will be on all night, you know what I'm saying? And that causes problems by itself. Yeah. So, you know, they do the count, and then they give us like another, you know, 45 minutes to an hour of light before they shut the lights off. You know what I'm saying? And then they usually do the shift change or whatever. I'm institutionalized, so I remember all this shit. But I remember we went to count. We did count. We sit, and everybody got to sit up on their bunk, wait for the CO to come around and count all the inmates and shit. And then after count, they go. Well, after they count us physically, they go back to their podium or their desk where they're at, and they tally up the counts. While they tally up the counts, and you know, from different yards, and the count got to be right because they know how many inmates they got physically locked up, so they have to count them all physically, make sure no one escaped. So when they do that, you know, between those counts, before the count clears, you got to stay on your bunk, you got to stay sitting up until the count clears, and then while they're doing that, I hear oh hell no, and I look across the dorm, and this big, he got to be like 6 foot. Tattoos on his face. Dude's like super yoked. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? The motherfucker been locked up and shit, right? He's like, screaming like a girl, bro. There was a mouse in the dorm. And this big motherfucker, it's like the elephant when they see a mouse.
Yes.
Scared to death.
It. Oh my goodness.
Like scared to death. He's jumping over bunks. He's like running around trying to get away from it. Like hell no, he's like 3 bunks over, and and the CO's yelling at him. The CO's like, hey, get back in your bed. He's like, there's a rat, there's a mouse. I was like, yo. So like I said, back to what I'm saying is like,
I bet you'll beat somebody's face in though.
Yeah,
like,
he'll beat the shit out your ass.
He ain't in jail for nothing. Like he ain't in prison for nothing. Being scared of mice though. That might just be one of his things.
Look,
I knew some real, you feel me, like some real dudes, and I was like, you're scared of a spider, like death afraid of spiders, are you serious, boy?
But this motherfucker, like, you know that he'll hold you down, and he's a real motherfucker.
He's a real dude, like a real dude. So like, and I'm like, you're scared of spiders? I was like,
get our things
away from me. Are you scared serious?
What are you scared of?
I ain't scared of nothing, baby.
Get the fuck out of here. There you go. Now see, we were being ourselves, and now Patty jumped into podcaster mode. She act like she ain't scared of that. I heard that. You know what? I can't say
fear is a choice.
I can't. Fear is a choice.
Fear is a choice. Danger is real, but fear is a choice.
Exactly. So stay dangerous, my friend. Stay dangerous.
Like, I don't know. Just like I really try not to be afraid.
Patty
of anything.
fears nothing.
I don't try to be. I don't try to live my life like that.
Please step to her accordingly. Please step to her accordingly because she's a righteous individual. She's not finna disrespect you, but don't disrespect Patty, bro. Don't get it fucked up. They don't call her Peebo for nothing.
Shut up.
Come on, Patty, you gotta threaten me with violence, man. Just you know what I'm saying?
So I guess one of the common denominators though is that I'm a hippie, because you're like, Patty's a hippie. Like,
I mean, I could kind of see that. I could kind of see that only because you're so, like I told you in the last podcast you were here, I was like, yo, I love your attitude, because even when shit's down, you're not really down. You're kind of like centered, you know what I'm saying? And you know, for all the fuck I know though, you could be at home punching walls and mistreating animals. I don't know what the fuck you do at the house.
I would never mistreat animals.
I know you wouldn't, but I'm just saying, it's like, I don't know what the fuck you do at home, but every time I see you together, even when I call you and be like, what's up? And I could tell that you're not feeling it. Like, you know, I'm just trying to be on my own shit. Even then, you're not really like, you know what I mean? You're not in a bad mood. You just, you know what I respect about you the most, to keep it 1,000 with you, is you're really upfront. You're straight up.
Again, like I don't really know It just makes things so much simpler. I think I'm just a big advocate on communication.
Yeah, I feel like being forward and just being straight up with people kills a lot of bullshit because people be trying to figure people out or figure out, oh, what did he mean? Or what did she mean? What was she saying?
And that
or when she said this, oh, was she trying to be disrespectful? It's like, yo, just ask, bro.
Yeah.
Just ask. It's like...
I try to look at things from different perspectives, though, because some people don't want to talk about things and don't want to confront them because sometimes they'll think that that's going to cause a bigger problem than what's actually occurring.
Yeah.
And so they want to avoid
They're not
a problem.
confrontational.
Yeah, and they want to avoid a problem.
No,
but
I
then
get that.
The issue is, but now not talking about it is creating a problem.
It's creating a problem.
So you just, that defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah.
And so now we need to approach it with a different strategy. So
totally.
I realized that, because I'm the type of person where like, we just have to deal with it. But sometimes you can't vulgar everything. You have to finesse things sometimes.
No,
and
definitely.
You have to pick your battles. You really do. And like everything doesn't need to be, like I said, like manhandled. Sometimes you can finesse it, and sometimes the passive ways create the best results. That's what the goal is. Because again, some people who like to confront, we think we should confront everything all the time because we want to avoid a problem. But again, we might be confronting the problem and causing more of a problem by doing it in that way. Because
I think you got to know your audience. I think
there's a lot of different factors that play into it. But I like that we're having this conversation because that's something that's very important to me. That's something that I have to like, find a balance of like.
And we done had it out though, bro. Like that's why I love you too, though. You know why? Because I done had a knockdown, drag out, fucking bullshit argument with you, and we still took a little. No, we still do, but we took a little break, and I can still come talk to you like it's nothing, and that's what I want because I'm
kind of weird. I kind of like those arguments.
I know you do, bro.
Because I like to know all the different sides of people. That's what it is. I want to know you're good, you're bad, I want to know. Then you're not really my family. If I don't really know who you really are, how can I love you? How can I care about you? Vice versa. If I can't be myself around you, what are we here for?
If I can't argue with you without you taking it so personal where you're like, I can't fuck with you no more.
Or where we can't have respect for each other. Exactly. That's more than anything.
And even
we still have to both be able to walk away with dignity. Like, because that's not, again, if you're my family and I fuck with you and we are a reflection of those we keep around us.
Most definitely.
How does it bring me any value to devalue you?
Exactly.
Again,
disrespect you and to say some wild shit to you. I just disrespect.
Again, if I play you, I'm playing myself. Exactly. By devaluing you, I just devalued myself because you're my family.
Yeah.
So how does that? I get it. We're humans, and we.
And even then, when you have that moment,
we don't mean, and
when
we
you
act
have
in a
those
way,
moments,
we're not perfect by any means, but we have to keep that in mind, and that's one of the things. Like some things you can't take back.
And I keep that in mind, and also even if I'm the type of person that if I fuck with you and we have that kind of argument and I feel disrespected, because I fucking love you and I fuck with you, I'll give it a minute. And then I'll come back to you when we're calm and there ain't no more hot, there's no more heat. You know, that obviously there's something going on, but I'll still come back to you and talk to you and be like, look, this is why I acted this way. And I feel like, to me, if I care about you and I fuck with you, I owe you an explanation. And that's only if I owe you an explanation if I know I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. And even then, even if I'm not wrong and you misunderstand me, I owe you an explanation because the misunderstanding is affecting us. Mm-hmm. And I would rather just be fucking just come to some kind of resolution over it. Maybe we don't agree
because it's you guys against the problem, not each other. Exactly. And that's in any relationship, whether it's family, business, friends, whatever. Like,
be straight up with me, man.
Like that's
and be open.
We realize, but that's very mature, and we just need to like hopefully have more people understand that because it ain't gotta be as negative as everybody makes it out to be, or we're all just trying to protect ourselves. That's what happens.
See, the thing is there's so many levels to this conversation. It's like you said, there's family, there's friends, there's
romantic,
co-workers, business, romantic. There's so many different ways. You can't treat them all the same, but you gotta have the same fundamentals. The same fundamentals, because like I deal with people, it's like I'll deal with you if I don't like something you did, I'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want you to take it like I'm coming to you like, let's square up. I'm telling you, it's like, bro, I'm giving you an opportunity to know that I don't fuck around like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So give me that respect because you don't see me. Respect. You know what I'm saying? Let's
about the understanding.
And let's have some mutual ground. Like, okay, this is what it is. Let's not do this no more though.
Or I could even respect somebody whose attempts to have the conversation. Like we tried to understand each other and we just didn't see eye to eye. We agreed to disagree.
And we agreed to disagree. And what?
But I could still respect that you came to me as a grown, mature, level-headed person, reasonable person.
Yeah. And then we could move on.
And you're not operating in your ego because that doesn't do good for anybody. Exactly. I could respect that. Like we could still walk away like, I'll move that way. That's cool. You move it that way. I'll move it this way. But I still got respect.
But we still, and not only that, not just having to agree to disagree, but it not letting a disagreement dictate the friendship. Like, okay, I can't fuck with him no more because he don't see things like I see things. True. It's like, no, you see things how you see things. That person sees them how they see it. And okay, you may not agree with it, but that doesn't mean that we can't fuck with each other. Now, there's certain things
that are deal breakers.
But
that's the exception. We're not talking about that's
the exception.
We're just talking about like a little light.
For the most part, it's talking about just
disagreement. Just a little
just your people's
miscommunication.
Because a lot of people fall out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people fall out over crazy shit, and then it's like, bro, why are you even fucking with your people? Like I even said it, like all the shit I talked about Trump and all the shit I talked about on all these fucking podcasts, right? I've always said at the end of the day, it's not worth losing your freedom, losing your life, and also not worth losing family and friends over. Like, you know, I know you know because we even had Steph on here and she was talking about how she done lost, you know, fell out with family members over Trump shit and over. I was like, bro, at the end of the day, look at it now. We 3 months into the new year with a new president already. Mm-hmm. How many people are really beefing like that? It's not really as it was before. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. Everything shit's calmed down. At least from what you see as far as media and social media and the temperature of people more or less around you. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's not saying that it's not active and it's still out there, but it's different. Mm-hmm. You tell me that shit's really worth you not talking to your mama no more, or your grandma, or your uncle, who you were close with. Now, if you weren't close with them, I can't tell you to be close with your people. You mean, fuck it. If that you know, if they never treated you like family, then I can't tell you, hey, you know, accept, like, I'm never going to tell nobody to accept that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, abuse or anything.
Some people, they look at it, though, like, if you support Trump, you're automatically a racist. So that's kind of where that narrative comes into. And so they're like, I can't. If that's what you think and that's what you believe in, I can't mess with you. This is what brought it to light.
But that's the problem, though, too. On that side, though, that's the problem on that side is that the person that thinks like that is not looking at the fact. It's a blanket statement. They're not looking at the nuance, and they're not looking at the person. Yeah, at the person who they're dealing with, and they're letting that fucking
narrative dictate.
Well, exactly. Instead of them choosing how they what they know from that person and who they are and what they mean to them. They're allowing another topic and another issue to dictate that. So look, I hate to get sidetracked, but check it out. And I just want to get your opinion on this, right? So lately, from what I've been watching, I guess, and I don't know for sure I'm good, there's been a lot of transphobia, right? And that's when you're like, what basically what it's like when you're like, you don't
like homophobic, but
transphobic, exactly, right? So okay. For all the people who don't know that. So a guy on Instagram was getting, or not Instagram, I think it was either TikTok, I believe it was. He went on there and he was like, I was getting questioned about why I don't like trans women. They're women too. Mm-hmm. But he goes, that's just not my preference. That's not what I like. I'm not good. But so they were calling him transphobic. Mm. So then he started a movement called Super Straight. Mm-hmm. And he basically said that, he goes, this is my preference and my sex or whatever or my gender, whatever is I'm not transphobic. I'm super straight, which means I'm starting my own term, like a lot of other, do a lot of other group segments do. I'm starting my own term, and it's called being super straight. And what it is that which means is this is my own category now, and what it means is if I'm super straight, I only prefer women that are born women,
cisgender.
And, exactly. So because of that, they took down his TikTok, TikTok shut him down and saying that he's spreading transphobia and he's spreading hate, intolerance, and all that. And look, I'm just trying to figure out what people are like. What's the terms? Because he's literally getting roasted and getting all this stuff for having his preference, when the whole LGBT community and everything else, that's what they're fighting for, is to be able to choose who they want to love and how they want to love them. And you know what I'm saying, and how they decide and who they love, and they shouldn't be treated differently, which is, you know what I'm saying, that's what they're for. But this guy, I mean, you can't make nobody be attracted to something that they're not.
I do believe that everybody has the right to their own preference.
I look, and I'm asking, like, what do you think about that? Like,
this is all very new in the sense that it's mainstream in that sense, because transgender people have existed since
forever.
Yes,
forever.
Exactly. Sexuality has been ambiguous throughout history for many years. It's
not something new.
Yeah. So this, though, dealing with it mainstream and trying to come up with ways to define things is very new to people. So I think when there's any sort of opposition, again, they're going to blanket people and say, well, this is intolerance. And if the way that you put it is the way it is, then it doesn't sound like it was that to me.
I mean, that's how they explained it.
And if you ask different people, it's just like not one person represents any one community. So some people within that community might be okay with that. They're like, yeah, I tell guys and girls up front that I'm transgender and I don't have a problem with it. And other people might say, well, no, it doesn't matter. So you can't really, again, blanket one community and say they're cool with this and they're not cool with this, because it's not. It's just what's making a lot of noise and what's trendy.
And like, unfortunately,
and in anything with sexuality, if you had like an STD or if you couldn't have kids or anything that has to deal with your sexuality, you know, like, it's all about just being honest and upfront in general with people, no matter what it is.
And living your truth. I mean, if that's who you are, that's who you are,
Being real.
See, and that's the thing.
I think we all need to give people... I'm an all cards on the table type of person. This is what it is. You choose. We can't decide for other people.
Exactly.
No matter what it is, whatever the case may be. And that's just... I don't know. That's just...
That's how I'm going to keep it real with you. I agree with you on that. It's because...
And we just have to also, though, but people wouldn't be this adamant if people weren't so intolerant of people being different in the first place, though, too.
Yeah.
If people felt welcome to be themselves, we wouldn't have to deal with all this stuff now.
No, most definitely.
We all need to be open and just be like, okay, if they're not hurting anybody else or themselves, then...
Most definitely. See, the thing where it starts at, it's like, I feel like people... all have a right to be who they are, whatever, and whatever you prefer. That's your preference. You live your life how you want to, as long as you're not hurting nobody else and hurting yourself. That's my philosophy. You feel me? But it's like, for this guy to be like, and look, this is like
and that's
I said,
a media
I don't know.
company.
And look, and this is
and
going
people are putting way too much stock in these media companies, thinking because they're doing this thing, that's what makes things law and life and. No, just because they're private-owned companies and they're doing things for their best interest to make their most profit.
It used to be your family, your community, the people that you fuck with, whether you're friends or relatives or whatever, that kind of set the tone for how you, you know, what you believed in. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you thought. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Be a good person, be this, be that.
Or if you're Christian.
Or if you're Christian or religion or whatever.
Or if you're a more liberal family.
Or unfortunately, some people are born into situations where all the people around them are fucking evil or bad or just up to no good.
Or don't have your best interest at heart.
Exactly. There's so many layers to it. Like, what I'm saying is that, but it's the one where it's like, when you actively are trying to, because I feel like with that whole situation, it's like no one should be attacked, and we're gonna keep this is gonna be a blanket statement for humanity. No one should be attacked for what they prefer or what they prefer or what they believe in, and what they believe in, as long as it's not hurting anyone and not hurting themselves.
Right.
And
I agree.
Your feelings, unfortunately, unless it's a direct, like, I hate you or something like that.
There's some sort of aggression.
Exactly. Your feelings don't matter when it comes to how other people feel. Like, how you feel about other people living their life, they shouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like I said, he's not hurting himself, or they're not hurting themselves. They're not hurting no one else. You should be free to live your life how you want to, you know? But when you're it's like, it's kind of contradictory to me, to be honest with you. You're fighting for the right to choose to love who you want to love, and then you're also and then the only reason why I even brought it up is because they literally, like you said, we're not looking at the right shit to guide us anymore. We're looking at these fucking social media platforms, which have already, is a fact that the algorithm chooses what you get to see based on what they think you like. We're letting those things dictate how the fuck we feel and how we treat other people. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the problem right there to begin with. You know what I'm saying?
It's just a very slippery slope too, because it's a very fine line between preference and discrimination.
Exactly.
So it's a very slippery slope, and we have to again understand the person's intention. We need to look at it that way again and not blanket people, because it's the same thing if somebody was like, oh, I only like Mexican girls, or I only like Mexican guys, or white guys, or black girls, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. Like, there's a difference between just having a preference and like, this is who I'm attracted to, and this is what I like. You know, some people like people with curly hair, and some people like people with blue eyes.
I only like dark-skinned chicks, or I only like light-skinned chicks. It's not because you're racist. It's just because that's what visually appeals to you for whatever reasons that you've grown up.
There's a fine line between that and then discrimination, or being like creating a negative towards what you don't like or prefer.
And even then with your preferences. But then that kind of
comes down to, like, you do have to kind of analyze why you think like that.
No, you do, but at the same time,
you do want to.
At the same time,
and then if you've analyzed and you've done the work within yourself, and you've not taken it for a surface level or surface face value, like, and you're like, no, this is just what I'm attracted to.
I feel like whenever I've been on any date and any woman has ever asked me what kind of woman you like, I've always been like, I like all kinds of women. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just looks. It's like, because you could be the most beautiful and have the ugliest spirit and attitude, and you could be the most,
and it's gross,
not beautiful, and you could be like, or not conventionally beautiful, but be beautiful on on a different level. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many levels to it when it comes to how people are to begin with. But at the same time, to me, it's not the problem of what people's preferences are. And my problem is that they're letting other people hype them up and dictate. People that are like they call them influencers. It's like, bro, this person, you don't know what he or she or whatever is about. They could be about anything. Their agenda is not your agenda.
That's the
you
problem.
You can't just pick up anything that you see and just be like, this is law and this is what it is. Right is right and wrong is wrong, no matter where you go. But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, for you to like
everybody
try to dictate what somebody prefers and call them and call them something, you know, call them whatever, that's wild to me. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people, I know I'm not the only one, and I know there's people from all different types of communities that feel the same way, including the LGBT community or whatever. So it's like, it's not an attack against nobody. It's just being real. It's like, you know, we all should, at the end of the day, our own free will and our free mind is like one of the last things that we have. It's like, once you start trying to let a handful of people dictate how the masses feel, you know what I'm saying? And because you got to remember, like, there's also a lot of positive moments that are really worth getting behind and getting all that, but you can't just weaponize anything just because whatever and run with it. It's like come on now, you know what I'm saying?
I think
it's literally a hypocrisy. It's literally the fucking the reason why we as a society, not me in general or you in general, but as a society treats other group segments bad.
No, I know exactly
what
you're saying.
Mean. It's the same thing.
It's like the system, like, oh, that person killed somebody, that's bad. Okay, let's kill them.
You feel me?
Let's give them the death penalty.
But look,
Because they're fighting for everybody to be able to.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm with that
to
though.
Believe in.
When it comes to killing though,
and
I don't know. When it comes to killing, I mean, and then, you know, like I said, I'm human,
and then they're not letting
too,
you believe in what you believe in because of a preference. And so I totally get it.
I mean,
it's a conundrum. It's an
oxymoron. It is, and they TikTok.
But a problem with it is the trendy culture. A lot of things are based on trends, and somebody called it like fake mad, where it's just popular to be mad at this subject, but you don't really have anything invested in it. And it's not something that's really lasting with you. Some of the people like really believe in their movement and what they're fighting for, and then other people just kind of hop on the bandwagon, and then once it's not popular anymore,
the instigators,
you know, they jump onto the next thing. And so I totally understand, because that's where that aspect kind of plays into that. And it's also on the other side of cancel culture. And it's just people run with it without
it's cloud
any
chasing, bro. It's cloud chasing. At the end of the day, everybody wants to feel important. And then we figure out
sometimes later, oh, it wasn't even like that. This is what they actually meant. But if somebody would have dug just a little bit deeper, they would have found that out. And that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody has to be very aware that the media can be very manipulative. And just because it's loud and it's popular, it's in our face, doesn't necessarily mean it's completely accurate.
It doesn't mean it's.
I mean, you could look at our history.
To be honest with you, when I look at people that get like that, bro, I just look at them like, bro, you're fucking. You're a fucking puppet. Like, I could manipulate
but we have to educate
if I really wanted to and be on my fucking, you know, cult leader shit, I could really get in your brain and just fucking make you do anything I want to do. It's like, you're lucky I'm a good fucking dude and I'm on that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think that's the good Lord telling me to fucking stop talking like this and shit on the podcast. So look, we're gonna take a break and I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna holla at y'all, No Invite Podcast. Bang, we're back. No Invite Podcast, Season 2, The Level Up, Episode 27. We got fucking P World Patty in the building, 16th World. What's happening? What's shaking?
Hola, hola.
Mm-hmm. So look, before we got off to everything else, because we just be going on our own shit, right? We went totally off script. We got some topics and shit we want to talk about. So let's just go on and, you know what I'm saying? Let's just get into it. So did you watch the Grammys?
I didn't get to watch the Grammys, but I've watched segments of it.
I didn't watch that shit neither because I don't give a fuck about the Grammys. But
I wanted to watch it. I just didn't get to.
I don't know.
And it was very, you know,
controversial.
Pandemic. Like, you know, the way that
I don't know. I mean, Cardi B, the clips that I seen Cardi B and fucking Meg Thee Stallion weren't acting like there was no corona happening. You know what I'm saying?
Not as much.
They was down there bumping clams
present, and shit. Not as many people present, and it was just like a different feel. If I was going to the Grammys, I would have liked that type of feel because I like. I like social distancing before social distancing was a thing. Like
back in my day, we just called it being a creepy loner.
6 feet, please do not get next to me. Do not try to talk to me. I do not know you.
Patty been acting like there was COVID out there before COVID.
Everybody has been gross. No, I'm just playing.
No, I didn't get to watch it. I mean, and like, look, like once again, going back to what we're saying, we're, you know, going based off the social media and what people are reacting to and whatnot. So, but at the same time, I like music. So, you know, I'm going to speak on it and try not to perpetuate no fucking false narratives while I do. But I didn't get to watch it. I know there was a lot of controversy with Meg and Cardi's performance. I know Cardi got into it.
Talk about that first or the boycott?
I think we should talk about that first because then it leads into the boycott.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like it's kind of ridiculous how people pick and choose what to be angry at. Once again, we're back at this whole situation and whatnot. And the fact that, you know what I'm saying, we just came off of presidents. Because the same people that like if we're just going to go off of notable people that were pissed off about this whole situation, you know, Candace Owens. Mm-hmm. I know you know who that is, right? Is the
I have an idea of her. I've never really paid attention.
Well, I don't know too much. Drama. I know enough.
But I've
to
heard
know about
of
her.
Yes.
She's like, you know,
she's a Republican, right?
She's a black Republican, and you know, she has controversial things about her and what she says herself. She ain't just because like Cardi's one kind and Megan's one kind of controversial, and she's a different kind of controversial. You know what I'm saying? And they both have their reasons or whatnot, right? So if we're going just based off that, it's like it's funny how people pick and choose what to be angry at, what not to be angry at. Because if I'm looking at the whole situation, first of all, it's like Cardi B's whole thing about she was saying it was like, yeah, I my music isn't for kids. So anybody that was a grown adult watching this and feels offended, I'm sorry, I mean, that's just where we're at right now. You know what I mean? Because in a nutshell, I'm not going verbatim, but you know what I'm saying. It's
the impression, there was a meme that she put out that showed a clip of Family Guy, which is really funny because I have something to say about that too, because it's a good segue to that. And it said, maybe we shouldn't necessarily be mad at the TV shows or the people putting TV shows out there like that are you consider inappropriate, or the content that you consider inappropriate. And maybe we should monitor what our kids or what our family is exposed to and be responsible for ourselves in that aspect.
Yeah, it's like the McDonald's didn't make your kid fat. You made your kid fat, dude, because you fed a McDonald's.
I think responsibility needs to be taken on both sides, but like there was that point. And it's funny too, because have you ever seen that one video of her like playing WAP and she was doing a video and then Culture was about to
her kid walked
she was
in.
like, oh snaps, and she turned off the song fast.
That's parenting though. That's as parents remember back in the day.
So she understands that her music is inappropriate, and she sits there and she's not gonna sit there and let insinuating from that video, she's not gonna sit there and let Culture hear that song and listen to that song unedited or even at all. Like she was like, oh no, she turned that off real quick.
She said she don't make music for, and even though they play it on the radio, you gotta understand also. But so check this out though. Now bringing it back to the family, it's like how many. This goes to parenting once again, because it's like how many of y'all out there. Back in the day when you were a little baby, you were like fucking, impressionable, and you were watching family movies with the family, and a sex scene came on, or an inappropriate scene that was just too old for your young eyes to begin with.
Do you remember Top Gun and a Half? Like,
yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, what did your parents do?
Oh
if your parents were being responsible and your parents were doing the right thing, cover your ears, cover your eyes.
Or they would explain the movie to you.
Or they would explain
this
it to
is
you.
fake.
But you also gotta,
violence is fake.
But not only that, it's not just the violence. We're talking about like.
I think it's about the, like you said, it's about the parenting.
It's the parenting.
So like as long as you're communicating,
the parents should shut that down. Just like Cardi did. You feel what I'm saying? When she shut down when her kid came in the room. Huh?
You ever seen that movie Cock Blockers with John Cena and
I've seen some of it.
Oh, you didn't see the whole thing where like their parents are super open with their kid about sex and everything like that, and they're a little too open.
Yeah.
You ever seen that? Like, if that's how you want to parent, though, that's up to you. But that was just what that reminded me of. Like,
everything's
that's so funny. Like,
yeah, but it's like.
I think both sides need to take responsibility. Like, you can't just show anything, or if that's what you're going for, then you have to just take responsibility for whatever lashback you get for that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're like, okay, well, this is what we're gonna put on, this is what we feeling, then you just gotta take the criticism with it. And also you have to monitor and take responsibility for.
That's why it's not a big issue.
What your kids, you can't really shield your kids from everything in the world in general either. Just as much as our parents try to shield us from whatever in the world when we were growing up.
I think
there's it's the real world. Once again, it goes back to the whole, getting hyped up, causing a fit, and then throwing a blanket statement over a whole thing and making it a big deal. Like,
to me, when it comes to that though, it wasn't even a big deal. Like, to me, I just looked at it like, and I laughed because it's like people pick and choose that shit all the time. So it's just hypocrisy, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, and I just laughed it off. But
that was funny because did you hear about them canceling Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah.
Because what was it? Because it was like aggression, like sexual aggression towards women.
Allegedly, and I'm gonna say allegedly because you know what I'm saying, we gotta make sure that he perpetuates rape culture.
Do you think that?
To be honest with you,
did you think that? I don't know. That's hilarious to me because someone pointed out. Are you serious? You're about to cancel Pepe Le Pew when it's an animal and it's a skunk and it's not him, it's the people. Don't make him like that, but you let Family Guy
I see
you let
that.
Family Guy and Quagmire always do that rapey stuff on that show, and y'all ain't saying nothing about that, talking about picking and choosing.
That's why.
What we want to be mad at.
That's why.
And that's exactly what that show.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly what that show... And there's a pedophile in that show.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. And that's where that snippet came that Cardi B put on her meme was from Family Guy, because Family Guy was getting a lot of criticism at that time. Yeah. So they said, well, if you guys want to take your values from a TV show, that's up to you. And how about we start taking responsibility as well for what we watch and what we expose ourselves and our family to. So that was funny because
for everyone. Yeah.
We want to cancel Pepe Le Pew when you can just change his behavior as a cartoon.
You could write him in a whole
You could rewrite, yes. But you let Family Guy on and nobody's saying nothing about that.
Yeah, and that's why I said at the end of the day, it's like I thought about it, and instead of it taking up enough space in my mind where I took to social media or I fucking wanted to get angry at people for no reason.
I wonder what trended that though, because Pepe Le Pew has been around forever. So it's like, what? Somebody just woke up one day and was like, violence on Pepe Le Pew.
Somebody was saying like, yo, this culture that we're living in, where we're just going back and obviously
you just can't run with just everything.
No,
think for yourselves, and that's what you believe in, do what you do. But just don't run with it.
The culture that we're in right now, where we're running back and we're crucifying people because of their old selves. It's like, if you really believe in evolution and you believe in evolving, you got to understand that, okay, certain things that nobody looked at was crazy back in the days is crazy now, and okay, so. If the person now, it's super dangerous
to rewrite history and to X out certain things in history, because then
it's not even
you'll repeat it.
It's not even rewriting it. It's just crazy to make people pay for things that they weren't aware of.
Not just that, but have you heard
before.
They were trying to rewrite, I think, Huckleberry Finn because of the language that's contained in it. Mm-hmm. And I understand.
Just throw the whole shit out. That's how I feel like. Fuck Huckleberry Finn.
That's kind of dangerous.
No, it's not dangerous because if
you throw out everything that you feel is unacceptable today, you will repeat your mistakes. Those who do not study their history are doomed to repeat it. So you have to know that slavery was a real thing for us to avoid it to ever happen. Because if it's just erased and they're like, I'm not saying
erase it though. What I'm saying is that it's not erase it, but when people remember Huckleberry Finn, they should remember if it was written by a racist and had racist undertones, then people should remember first. That should be point
So
A.
now, have you seen what they're doing? They're kind of putting disclaimers on certain movies.
Yeah, they did that on Disney. Yeah.
On certain
and
literature.
That's cool. And that's
where
cool.
Like,
you know why?
This
I agree with that?
Content was made at a time that there was like racism occurred or discrimination was present.
And you know why I agree with that?
Content maybe not
You know why
suitable.
I agree with that? Because
I agree with that too. I like that too.
It lives true to what you're saying. It's like you have to know about this shit in order for it to not happen, because once we forget about it, we risk of it coming back again.
Yes, of course.
You know what I'm saying? And being okay and becoming commonplace.
Exactly, because you have to be better than what you were before.
That doesn't mean that you gotta watch it.
But how you were saying, people want to just cancel it out and just throw it all out together. I think that's very dangerous.
It is.
I think it's dangerous to be so easy to cancel everything, because and that's also a slippery slope where you have to discrimination and tolerance. Like, are we being too sensitive to the fact to where we want to blind ourselves to the situation and then again be possible to repeat it? Or we have to make people aware of it, and also know we just have to know that we have to be aware of it so that we can protect ourselves from it.
That would be it. Because it has to be just like they think of the Holocaust.
We can't be naive.
But listen to me. That's what I'm saying. It's
not to be naive as well.
Just like they think about the Holocaust or 9/11. It should be remembered, not because of the
negativity,
the actual act, but why it was done and why it should never be done again.
And we don't want it to happen necessarily in vain.
Exactly. You want people to understand, because if people forget the gravity, they forget the magnitude of what the fuck happened, then like you said, we're forced to repeat it, because there's no.
Not just that, but then those people passed away for no reason.
Well, and no matter what, look, let's keep it real. As time passes on, people care less and less about shit like that, bro, unfortunately. And it's not because, I'm not talking about the family members, the people that know, but like in general, as a what's it called, like.
But that's human nature.
That's human nature, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But look, okay, so we got all that out the way, right? So how do you feel about the boycott and people boycotting the Grammys now? Because look, disclaimer once again, it's like I don't give a fuck about the Grammys to begin with, but obviously this is a thing, and it's obviously a lesson in this whole thing where it could be learned. A lesson could be learned in this whole thing. So how do you feel about that?
I have mixed feelings about it. I like the Grammys, or I haven't really watched the Grammys, like sat down and watched it in a while. Honestly, in a few years.
I ain't watched the Grammys. I don't know how long. Fuck.
I've caught a little bit here and there, but I used to really like the Grammys. I used to have a lot of respect for the Grammys, but
I like more the show and the pageantry is rather than the fucking nominations.
Yeah, because it was
awards.
Very biased. We have to acknowledge it was very biased. A lot of white people, a lot of white people stuff. Yes. Nothing intended. It's just kind of how it is. And so I haven't watched them though in a while, and I don't know. I heard the Grammys, to be involved in the Grammys, to be nominated for the Grammys, it has to do a lot with politicking in a sense. Like you have to shake a lot of hands, you have to kiss a lot of babies, kind of like campaigning. You know what I mean?
You gotta rep.
You can't
kind of believe in the brand and fucking put it out there. And
not just that, but you have to kind of have like a niche. So it's kind of like a business. Well, it's not kind of. It is a business. So I have mixed feelings because I think because the Grammys do also acknowledge people that I've never heard of. And acts that I didn't even know were out there, and they're
that's okay.
Like really good. I love that
because that's how you learn from other genres and shit like that.
Yeah, but it's also again artists, so I feel like maybe it was just kind of biased. So it was just weird because I did think it was kind of weird that The Weeknd wasn't really acknowledged this year because I feel like he's one of the few artists out in the mainstream industry that really takes his artistry serious.
I feel like he's at the top, very tip top. Not the very tip top, but he's at the top of everything. Right. And it ain't just window dressing. It's really talent.
He really feels that. I feel like that's his life.
And because look, I'm gonna keep it with you. I don't follow The Weeknd very much, but I see what he does. And I love a lot of Weeknd songs. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I don't fuck with him at all. I fuck with him because there's a lot of songs he got dope. But I see what he does.
Right.
He embodies whatever the theme of his album is. And you see how he did the fucking Grammys and the pictures, and remember there's a picture of him floating around. They thought he really got work done and shit. Like, to me, I feel like that's dope because he's like a method actor. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Is that what they call him?
Like I said, I feel like he just takes the artistry very seriously.
Yeah,
like,
and that's dope though.
This is my
because
life.
Some of the best
like...
actors are method actors. You feel me? Where they submerge themselves in the character or the persona that they're trying to come across. So yeah, I feel
think
like
that was weird because maybe he just didn't do as much, networking as he should have. But I don't think that it should necessarily be based off of that. But we also know how the industry works at the same time. But it's also weird to me because it's kind of like, this has kind of been happening to artists or people have perceived it.
Oh yeah, Nas want
forever.
Look, the yin and the yang. Nas want his first Grammy.
Right, that's ridiculous.
And I feel like at least he's had 2 projects to where it should have been Grammy worthy.
Ridiculous.
2 projects, elite projects that should have got Album of the Year.
Of course.
Right? And that's just my perspective, and I know that we're dealing with the whole world, so that has to have impact everywhere. But
so do you only boycott it when it's done personally to you, or? And is it cool when it happens to other artists, but you're nominated? I mean, I'm not judging anybody.
Let me know when you're ready for my opinion. I got you.
I don't know how I would feel about it, but I think like it's just weird. It's a weird dynamic. Like, I don't know. Like, it's been happening to people.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Like I said, so I already blasted all the Grammys and everything, and I feel like us as artists, you know what I mean? It feels good to be celebrated. You know what I mean? And we just have to stop giving power. Like, to me, I was always taught that if you let somebody push your buttons, or if you let somebody make you do something out of your character, you're relinquishing control to them. Mm-hmm. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because you're letting them pull you out of your fucking off your square. So I feel like all these artists that are making a big deal out of it, it's like you should really go to where people celebrate you. Mm-hmm. Because when you go where you're celebrated at, you always are gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, for us to put so much stock in what the Grammys think when we've seen with our own eyes, and I know this to be true in all other fucking different genres, then we know that, you know, when we see them out of pocket like that, we know it's like, yo, their credibility ain't, who are they to decide anything? It's just because they're the last few big artists artist platforms that celebrate the artists and vote. They're one of the last few big ones that are still holding strong, but that doesn't mean that they dictate the culture. You feel what I'm saying? So for people to get worked up on what they, as an artist, if you don't believe that they're accurate, you don't believe that they're really who they say they are, and they're doing things for the right reasons, and instead of they're doing it for politics, and because you're not fucking pushing the brand, and you're not hyping the Grammys up, and you're not fucking, you know, kissing their ass, so to speak, you know, you should be, as an artist, you should take that power back, because we anoint people with power over us. If I let you push my buttons, and I know that's what you're doing, and I allow you to do it anyways, and you pull me out of my character, then I am giving you that control.
Well, maybe that's what the whole boycott was intended exactly.
No. But you're right though. At the same time, you're right though. It's because you can't sit there and be like, I should have won this, and put all that stock into this platform and be like, I deserve this, and then when it gets mad, you're like, fuck this platform. They have no credibility. Obviously, they had some credibility to you because you desired that type of notoriety or that type of acclaim from them. But
I do think he got snubbed.
No, I do think he got snubbed
because his album was ridiculous this past year. Like, especially with the quality of music that was out this past couple years. He did the Super Bowl. He did everything. And even before that, the quality of music before in 2020. Nobody was comparable.
Well, the reason why I say that because Grammys goes by years, so it's like who had that year?
Anybody, like
who had that fucking moment?
Was exactly like he was ridiculous. Yeah. Like I totally think he got snubbed. So it's weird because maybe he didn't realize that that's what was occurring the first times around.
No,
he was just.
They know.
You know, well, they do, know. But also
there ain't no artist that even fucking thinks about it like how we do. How we fuck with the Grammys and we view
what
their
I'm
platform.
Saying is like maybe in the first few, you know, when he was nominated, like maybe his team or whatever was working with him at that time did more campaigning in a sense and networking than this time around, and maybe he just kind of like assumed that. This time, you know, like the music would be recognized for what it is.
He strikes me as somebody that's always...
It is weird because I think he deserved...
Nah, you want to know... You know what?
Because was he not nominated for nothing?
No. Look, my opinion is that he's always been somebody that watched and hoped that he got nominated, and he probably was real humble about it. And then this year... he was undeniable, like I said, because the Grammys goes by years. What kind of year you had? It's not every year is somebody new, album of the year, whatever. So I feel like he was like, this year I did the Super Bowl. I dropped this crazy album that's everywhere, all over. I got fucking ads. You name it. My videos is crazy. I'm everywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? 1 second. But yeah, I feel like he in his mind. He knew, like, I'm undeniable this year. There's no way they can't give it to me. And when they didn't, that's when he had a fucking problem. You feel me? And I respect that. Like, but you can't be like, yo, okay, they were wrong, but now I'm boycotting the Grammys because they're fake. It's like, bro, you're playing by their rules. You dig what I'm saying? Huh? Yeah, what's up? You gotta do something? Nah, it's good. So look. Like I said, you can't play by their rules, and when things don't go your way, you want to blow the whole shit up. This is the you know what you got yourself in. It's like, don't get me wrong. I feel like he would have deserved it if we're really going based off music, the criteria or whatever it is that they choose. And don't get me started on fucking award shows, because I award shows are bogus as fuck. They don't dictate, and they never have dictated the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, not for you. Just in general. See,
I mean, it kind of does, just to like mainstream and just to people in general, but I don't think it should. I don't think
it does to the people that don't know the real shit.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
But that's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people, and that's the problem. They need to stop investing into these platforms
and that's how it's
investing
presented,
into the artists.
To
the artists.
That's how it's presented, though.
Okay, so look, we're gonna take another quick fucking break. We'll be back in a minute. I gotta go check something out. Y'all talking about Nothing But Podcast? Ask your bitch. Whatever. You guys know your.
What is the next topic?
So we're gonna talk about Sweetie and Quavo. We're gonna wrap it up. Quavo, whatever. This sounds like some kind of papaya.
You say Sweetie and Quavo?
It sounds like papaya, some crazy shit like that, like food and fruit.
Okay, Dad. Like,
I don't know. No, by
podcast. You said Sweetie and Quavo. One day, my mama was like, "Who's that? I know him." She was talking about some guy on TV, and she was like, "That's that one guy, huh? He's married to Benicia, huh?" And I was like, "Who?" She was like, "Benicia." I was like, "Beyonce, ma? Beyonce?" She's like, "Yeah, Beyonce."
That's hilarious, bro. And I ain't that fucking
Dad.
old.
Okay, Dad. So Weenie and Quavo.
Anyways, the only reason why I even want to talk about this subject is because there's a lot of game to be heard. There's a lot of game to be told in this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you're team quiet. You're team quiet right now. I can't breathe out.
I'm not team anybody. I'm team what's right is right. Period. And I'm gonna tell you like this. Look, you know,
oh my gosh.
If you feel somebody is doing you out of pocket, then you do what the fuck you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? You gotta.
But everybody be feeling like people be doing them out of pocket.
Not
Sometimes
everybody.
People just be
Hold
in
on.
feelings.
That sounds toxic, Patty. Not everybody feels like that.
It sounds toxic what you're saying, because sometimes people just be in their feelings.
Look.
It's like the other day somebody cut me off in traffic and was mad at me. What? How are you mad at me?
You know what? I can't tell them how to feel. They want to be
yeah,
mad
but that
at
don't
you.
give them a right to act however they want. You can feel however you
you're
want to
right
feel.
about that. You're right about that.
Everybody's entitled to feel however they want to feel. Exactly. I can't tell you how to feel. Mm-hmm. That is not my right. That is not my place.
You're right about that.
Can nobody tell you what is right and wrong and how you feel. But that does not give you the right to react and act however you want.
Well, yeah, from that point after that, you're not entitled to that. After that point, you're on your own.
So let's go ahead and decipher that.
No, you're right about that. And then the whole thing with the whole reason why I bring this whole conversation into play or whatever.
Anyway,
your toxicity level is quite high, Patty. Let's not act like
you don't know nothing about nothing.
That's what all toxic people say. You know what I'm saying? You know nothing about nothing. It's like instantly
you don't know anything about anything.
You discredit how I feel. You don't know what the fuck I know. How the fuck are anyone in
and
here?
You don't know what I know.
Exactly, and that's not the.
So
that's
don't
not
discredit
the
what I know
that's
that I know, and you saying that you know what you know.
But I know for sure that you don't know what I know because I know what I know. So get the fuck out of here with that shit. Get the you know you can say you can know a lot of shit. You can know a lot of shit, but you don't know what I'm thinking about right fucking now.
So we digress.
So anyways, so the only reason why I bring it up is like, okay, look. Much respect. Somebody don't want to fuck with you. They did you dirty. Whatever they broke. They crossed the game. Whatever. Handle your business. But you can't. Like once again, you can't play by their rules. And then expect.
He's so serious right now.
Dead serious right now. If I had sound effects,
he lived through this or something now. Like I swear to God, he was just TikTok, entranced to a different space and time.
You know that TikTok where they go, where somebody's talking, you say you want this, and then dun dun, then the music comes on. Oh yeah, like you gotta hear that shit. I'm gonna try to find it and I'm gonna put it right here. for that you know what I mean, saying the TikTok thing, but
oh my goodness.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So what happened? So let's go ahead and specify.
So anyway, so we came in here to like knock this shit out, and we're really just fucking up right now. So we trying to put a button on this for y'all. Whoever's listening to it's been an hour and 10 fucking minutes. I'm trying to let y'all get gone and carry about your lives and shit. But nah, on some real So anyways, look. The reason why I say this, like, okay, handle your business, mama. He ain't fucking with you, or he did you wrong. That's fine, bruh. Whatever, you got caught, or you didn't do nothing, and she's tripping. Whatever the case might be, because I don't know. So I don't know neither. That's exactly what I'm getting to. I don't know what the fuck y'all going through, but what I did see is that a while back he bought her a Bentley for her birthday.
Okay,
and
I remember that.
And I don't know if this is true or not. So I'm telling you right now, I don't know if it's true or not. So don't go run with it like it's law out there.
But if it is,
but I seen a video where they said that he sent the repo man to go take that Bentley back.
Right.
Now, do you think that he's wrong for that?
I don't know. I don't really. It just depends on the person, honestly.
Okay.
I don't really, because some people are like, you keep that, I don't want nothing to do with you, go ahead, I'm gonna move forward with it, it's nothing to me. Other people are like, no, that's my money, I'm gonna take that shit back. And
right.
I don't really judge people based on that type of
stuff. What the fuck would Patty do though? You'd be like, I just bought this nigga a brand new Bentley.
It would depend on my situation, honestly. It would depend on how much money I invested on the situation, depend on the conditions.
Okay, you got caught cheating, and that other person left you, and because they left you, you took your Bentley back.
Okay,
yeah.
So I was cheating.
Yes.
And I gave them a Bentley.
Yeah, and then because they left you.
It depends. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I fucked up.
You fucked up. But also, it's not like it's a fucking pack of bubble gum that you gave him either, though, right?
No. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I would honestly
Patty's
because I'm a weirdo.
Politically correct.
So no, because I just try to be
probably hard to put
as
yourself in them
reasonable
shoes,
as possible. I would attempt to talk to them, like, and be like, "Hey, bro, blah blah blah."
Let me know when you're ready for me, because I got you.
But then if I was in my feelings, I'd be like, "Fuck that! I'm taking this shit back."
Petty,
but I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's really dependent upon what happened and what the situation was. Because if I messed up, I just kind of, I don't know, like, because what if she's taking her stuff back too, or he is taking his stuff back too? You know what I mean? So.
I mean, yeah. I mean, for
what
all
if
we
she
know,
was like, give me back whatever
she...
jewelry I gave you, and what if everybody? So I don't
See,
run with that type of stuff, and I don't judge people on that type of stuff.
And you know what? That's why, like I said, I'm not judging her, and I'm not judging him neither. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I only bring it up because there's lessons to be learned in this whole situation. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. It all depends on who what, because we don't know behind the scenes. Maybe she was being super petty and taking back shit. It was like, well, if we going to take back shit, then I'm going to take back this, you know what I'm saying?
If she gave him a coat that was worth like 30, 40 racks, and it was like, it's not as much as a Bentley, but you know what I mean? It's big ticket items.
I'm gonna tell you like this though. I'm super petty though, so I'm taking back everything.
This is Petty Kruger over here for anybody who didn't know. I swear to goodness.
Petty to America Part 2 come.
This
already
guy
on Amazon.
is hilarious.
Petty Riley.
So he was feeling that. He was like, "Yeah, give me that back." Yes,
you know
Quavo, yes.
Unfortunately, I was feeling that kind of petty. Like, you know what? Fuck it. Get your... You know what?
To each its own. I mean, maybe everybody was like, hey, everybody just take everything they
like, come on now. I'm not finna take back...
I'm not finna take back any panties that I bought you or any, you know what I'm saying?
That's a really petty
or any clothes or any
petty
like
panties.
small shit. But now, don't get me wrong. Like a whole fucking Bentley. I mean, that might be like you ain't finna have the next motherfucker in this motherfucker talking that crazy shit. So it might just, you know what I'm saying? I might just have to. I had to get Petty Murphy on you.
You think he's still paying on it? Maybe like.
I don't know. And like I said, I don't know if it's real or not, but like I really just wanted to talk about like the mind state, like what would you know what I'm saying, the pettiness and stuff like that.
Your petty self wanted to talk about the pettiness.
I did. I had to get a little petty, you know what I'm saying? So we had to wrap it up right. It's gonna be a Monday. All my Monday people, y'all needed something. I hope, like I said, every time we do a podcast, Patty is podcast gold. You know what I'm saying? My mama
There's
said,
gold in their minds there.
my mama said, you know what I'm talking about? So with that being said,
we
we're gonna wrap it up.
All of you.
We appreciate y'all, everybody, all the faithful listeners and everything. All the fucking scumbag fucking streamers that are bootlegging our shit. We appreciate y'all too. It's the No Invite Podcast. Patty, where can they find you?
16th World on Instagram.
16th, like with the letters.
16th.
Exactly, world. And you know how you know when you got Patty on Instagram, because she'll never respond to any of your fucking DMs or fucking anything.
We're ghosts. We're spirits out here in these realms.
And for all the
we
all
do
the
not
people,
exist.
For all the people out
we
there, don't take it bad.
Omnipresent. We are everywhere.
Don't take it
all
bad.
All the time.
Cause she fucking don't respond to none of my shit neither, so it's not personal.
The brown recluse, you know in real
the brown
life.
Recluse, Patty.
Sorry, I don't mean to be
Patty
guys.
of the opera. You know what I'm saying?
Just a weirdo over here.
Y'all know what it is, and this is the No Invite Podcast, man. You can find us on Instagram at no_invite_podcast. You could also follow us subscribe to our YouTube channel actually at RiBirth Media Films. That's RiBirth Media Films with a Z. And you could also find us streaming on all your favorite fucking podcasting platforms. Make sure that you guys tap in and tune in, because we are going to be doing merch real soon for all my faithful, out there. I want to see you guys out there. I want to see you with a Patty T or a motherfucking Blaze fucking Scully cap or something.
You want to be a part of the cult?
I want to be on you. but only if you're a chick. And if you're a dude, then Patty will be on you.
End the recording right now. End the recording. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Please stop.
To all my fucking female fans out there.
Please.
I appreciate y'all.
Press the button.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Please just press it. I'm gonna come press it for you.
No, my podcast, we out.